Hello, hello. It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I hope that you are having a great week so far. It's been a little crazy over here at my house. We had, I'm not even going to go into it. We had some drama. It's been slightly terrifying, and now more than ever, I definitely need some stamp therapy, some creative therapy to heal my soul a little bit and take my mind off of everything that's going on in real life. Okay, this looks good. I just did another broadcast and it wasn't working. We were super up close, and so I had to start this again, and it looks like it's a lot better, although I still, for whatever reason, cannot see your comments. I don't know why it is not working. Oh, I see Carla's comment. Maybe we'll be okay tonight. Very good. All right. Now I'm seeing comments. Hi, Carla and Jane and Carla. Oh my goodness. Hi, Kay. Okay, guys. So, I've got some fun projects to share with you tonight. I'm super excited. If this is your first time joining, hello. My name is Julie Davison. I live in Champaign, Illinois. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 19 years. So hard to believe that. And we've been doing Thursday night stamp therapy every Thursday night at 7:10 p.m. Central Time for the last year and a half. It's been so much fun. And we only missed, I think, 2 weeks in that time. So even with everything that's been going on my end, nope, I got to get on tonight and share with all of my stamping friends from around the world. So please say hi when you jump on. I definitely need to see your smiles. Give me a thumbs up or a heart. Let me know that you're watching, even if you're not able to leave a comment. So whether you're watching live or the replay, please, please, please say hello. Leave lots of comments tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos. We have so much to share. Every Sunday, Mom and I do a video and share new projects. And then twice a month are my great big card swap showcases. Did you guys see on Tuesday night the cards that I shared? There were 125 cards with fall themed, which like blows my mind that we had so many cards. But it was great fun, and one of them has inspired the card I'm going to share with you tonight. So before we get to the cards I'll be making, let's do a little mail call. In addition to the great big card swap, I sometimes get some extra cards that are just for me, and it makes me so happy. And so I just wanted to share those so you guys could see these amazing cards that I am enjoying, and I hope that you enjoy them as well. All right, this first one is from Janet Casto, and she's so fun. I love her cards because she always includes like little confetti. And the note that she put on top, Janet, I had to laugh because your note warned me about the confetti, and so I did open carefully because I knew it was inside. But then when I was getting it ready to show tonight, it did get me again. Oh, I even remember that it was in there. But this is kind of fun. If you have a card, you can add some small punch shapes. Janet just used designer paper just to kind of have a little something fun when you open up your card. This is such a great card design using designer paper as the card base, so you can see both sides, this side and then the front. This is one of my favorite patterns from the Beauty of the Earth. And Janet, you always inspire me the way you reach out and just reach out and make people smile with your beautiful cards. So I hope that everybody is doing the same and sending cards. In fact, I think in October we need to have like a send a card a day campaign because I really think that sending cards can make such a difference, not only in the lives of the people who you share those cards with, but I also think when you're focused on doing that for other people, that there's really something special that happens for you as well. So you know what? Let's just announce it right now. October is going to be send a card every day month. And I hope that you'll join me in doing that. Reaching out, sending just because cards, birthday cards, I don't know, whatever you got going on. But I want you to send a card, at least one card every single day in October. 31 cards for 31 days of October. We've got a couple weeks still, and let's get together on World Card Making Day, Saturday, October 2nd. I'm going to share a special free online class with you, and we'll make some cards together that we can send for that Send a Card a Day challenge in October. Oh my goodness. Okay, more cards. This one is from Susan Fenlater, and oh my gosh, I love it. She says she wasn't so sure about sending a card for the Great Big Card Swap because she wasn't sure if it was good enough. Susie, it is amazing, and yes, please send your cards in for the Great Big Card Swap. This one is using that cactus. Oh my God, I forgot the name of it. The cactus medley from the last mini catalog, and I just loved the colors in this, and this is an image I think right from the designer paper. So tell Susie you love her card, so she will participate some more. She's even got the designer paper on the inside. Susie, you did awesome. Oh my gosh, and you make me smile with your cards. Oh my gosh, this one is by Karen Key, and I shared Karen's card in the Great Big Card Swap on Tuesday, and I think I forgot to write on the back that she had sent me a double because she sent them in different envelopes. So I just wanted to give an extra shout out to Karen for including me and sending an extra card. I love this card with the plaid tidings designer paper and then the Gather Together bundle. This was one that was in the last catalog or two, and I'm just a sucker for fall, so all the fall sets I always am so drawn to. The world needs more people like you. Yes, Karen, they need more people like you too. Thank you so much for this awesome card. All right, this next one is from Kathy Cornea, and she used the Tropical Oasis or something. Oh gosh, I messed this name up last time. I think the designer paper was Tropical Oasis. This stamp set has got the palm trees, and check out this awesome sunset. I love the little ribbon tucked in here too. This reminds me so much of Hawaii. A little bit of the palm trees on the inside too. Hawaii is one of my favorite places. It is just truly paradise, and so I loved this Aloha card. Thank you so much, Kathy, for thinking of me and sending me an extra note. You guys are just so sweet. All right. Are you ready for some cards? I have 2 cards that are prepped and ready to go. These are cards that I shared in the Great Big Card Swap. I'm trying to decide, or not through the Great Big Card Swap. I shared them during Stamp Club today, and so I'm trying to decide which way to go. Let's go this way. We're going to start with a card using the Delicate Dahlias stamp set. This is a stamp set that you can get for free during Celebration, and Celebration is only good for like 2 more weeks. September 30th is the last day. So if you're not familiar, this is how it works. Celebration, you buy $50 or more and you can choose a free gift. So big news, the Bee Dazzling paper just sold out. So if you didn't get, there was a message that just flashed up really fast and then it went away. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. So the Bee Dazzling paper sold out. Oh, that's so sad, but hopefully you got it. And if not, there's still some amazing things to get. The Penguin Playmates designer paper, the Feels Like Home stamp set, the Beautifully Penned designer paper, the Peaceful Prince designer paper, the Counting Sheep stamp set, the sheep dies. These are also limited quantities, so if you want these, order now. In addition, we have the Textures and Frames stamp set, the Summer Shadow dies, which are also limited edition, but what I'm showing you tonight is the Delicate Dahlias, and this is free with a $100 order because this stamp set is big. It's like a double stamp set. You can see we've got, well, these are on the, they're on my blog right now, but you can see 2 different sheets, and these stamps are so gorgeous. You've got the outline and then also a stamp that you can fill in or stamp on their own. And do you see the detail on this stamp? This Delicate Dahlias is part of Stampin' Up's distinctive stamp line, and they have this special patent pending method of creating stamped images based on photographs. Isn't that just incredible? My kids saw this sample on the kitchen counter this evening, and they were just floored at the detail in this image, and you guys are going to be too. It is seriously so gorgeous. So let's get some stamping done, and then I am going to show you some extra samples. Uh-oh, I think I might have left them in the kitchen. but I can run and grab them. Let's do the stamping first, and then I'll run and grab those extra samples to show you. Don't let me forget, 'cause sometimes I get distracted and I forget. So there's the finished card. I just gave it all away. There's a card. I'm gonna take it away and show you the process. We are using that Delicate Dahlias. We're gonna use the big flower. That's the distinctive stamp. And the colors I chose are this beautiful Cajun Craze, very vanilla. And then I can't decide between the darker Old Olive and the lighter Pear Pizzazz. So actually, I'm going to run and get those samples. I want you guys to vote. Do you think we should use Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz? If you want to just leave a number, this is going to be number 1, and this is going to be number 2. Tell me what you think, and I'm going to grab those other cards. Okay, I'm still not seeing all the comments. Like I see some of the comments, but not all of them. Maybe there's just a little delay. Okay, I see Kay says 1 and Kathy says 1. Jillian says 1. That's all the Old Olive. It looks like you guys, are liking the darker color. Janet says Pear Pizzazz. Here's what I'm going to do. I know I just told you guys to vote, but I'm going to use the lighter one because I have one made up with the darker one, and then we can compare and see the finished card and which one we like better, okay? So let's put a pin in the voting and try the Pear Pizzazz, and then we'll see at the end which way we want to go with it. So the colors I'm using for this card are Pear Pizzazz, Cajun Craze, and Early Espresso. I've got just a standard card base here that is Cajun Craze, and then 2 pieces. One of them is a little bit smaller. So this one is 4 inches by 5 1/4 for the inside, and this one's going to be for the front. It is 3 1/2 inches by 5. And because I'm stamping off the edge of the cardstock, I definitely want to bring in some grid paper for this. So I'm using the Cajun Craze ink pad. And I'm going to stamp, oh my gosh, you guys, this is going to be so incredible. You are not going to believe the detail in this stamped image. Okay, ready? Oops. I'm going to do this one first. This is the inside. I'm going to do a little corner. What? Isn't that incredible? Oh my gosh. Actually, it looks like I have a little bit of fuzz on my, it looks like I have just a little bit of like lint on the stamp, and that was affecting, you can see like right there how like it didn't stamp completely. So I've cleaned it off. Hopefully I got it. Okay, so the piece for the front, I'm going to stamp this 3 times. I'm going to go in one corner, and then I'm going to stamp off the edge in the middle. And then I'm going to go in the other corner. So kind of like a doot, 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 like down the page. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I don't know why we got some pooling going on here. Now, if you are not getting the same kind of image on your card, then you'll want to take, it's possible that your ink pad is just super juicy. So you'll want to take like a plastic spoon, or you could even use your bone folder, and just sort of rub the ink across the pad to sort of even it out so that you don't have these pools of ink that are causing splotchy images. Okay, so if yours doesn't turn out exactly the same, it's probably not the stamp. It's probably an over juicy ink pad. Okay, now we're going to go back through with the leaves, and we're going to add those in the empty areas. And if I can have them connect to the flowers, all the better. You could add, if you wanted to, like, you can add some more like off the side. to like fill in all those spaces. Okay, and then our last thing we're going to stamp is the sentiment. Unfortunately, I need some sympathy cards, and this stamp set has a sympathy greeting. It has several. It has a thank you kindly, oh so happy for you, you inspire me, and sending heartfelt sympathy. So that's the one I'm going to use tonight, and I'm using early espresso ink to stamp this on the Pear Pizzazz tag that I previously punched out. This is the Label Me Fancy punch. I like the size of that. I thought maybe I double stamped or over stamped that. Okay, so now we get to put this card together. Oh, no. We don't put it together yet. We're going to add some texture. I almost forgot. I'm going to get out Big Mama, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to emboss the paper that we stamped. So when you do this, you want to stamp first and then emboss. So let's get out Big Mama. Now I'm going to have to, oh yeah, I'm going to have to raise the camera for this. Because Big Mama takes up a lot of room and she's not ready for her close-up. Okay, let's put this on. So I'm using the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder, and this is one from the new mini catalog. You can kind of see it does have some type, but it's very like faded and worn, and then you just have sort of these spots of like distress. So this is really great, especially for like fall cards, a great texture to add, but I mean really like any season. So the sandwich that you need for your die cutting machine is the platform, and then the embossing folder with the cardstock inside. So let's put that. Now this does have words. So you want to make sure, even though like you won't be able to read most of the words, you still want to make sure that your words are upright. So I'm going to make sure I put that in the folder vertically. The fold of the embossing folder goes through first, and then we're using the specialty plate, which is number 4. Now, if you buy a new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it comes with the specialty plate. This is a little bit thicker than a standard cutting plate, the clear plates. So if you're using 3D embossing folders, this is the sandwich that you want. Platform, embossing folder, specialty plate. This is the right thickness to create the impression that you want with the embossing folder. Now, if you don't have a specialty plate and you're using another die cutting machine, like a Big Shot, for instance, you can use a regular cutting plate and then just add a cardstock shim to get the right thickness that you need in order for it to run through. Okay, check out this texture. Isn't that pretty? Like this already was gorgeous, and then we added a little bit of texture, and now I feel like it just takes it over the top. Let's move Big Mama out of the way. Celebration is a great time to get a die cutting machine. Whether you're looking at the big one or the mini machine, you can get free celebration gifts when you purchase either one. So if you've been thinking about it, now is definitely the time to get it during celebration, which ends in 2 weeks on September 30th. Okay, so let's lower our camera again so that we can get a close-up look at our card and see what we're doing. We've got all our pieces ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and just layer them together. The one thing I did want to add was a little bit of ribbon. This is, what is this called? Diamond Weave Ribbon. And it has an item number 156507. I think this is part of the Harvest Meadow suite. I just love the texture of it, and especially with the very vanilla. I just think it's so pretty. So I'm going to use a little bit of this behind the tag just to add. It kind of is it's gonna blend in a little bit, but I think it's still gonna be really pretty. So we're gonna put this on the inside. I will include the measurements for the cards that I make tonight in the video description. Sometimes it takes me a little while because I just sort of collapse and I put my feet up. When I do my videos, I'm actually usually standing. I have a anti-fatigue mat that I stamp on, and then I can see my phone where I film my videos. I can see the phone and the comments, like I'm looking down at the table and I can see it. It's between me and the table. So I stand to do all my videos, and sometimes it's exhausting. And so when I finish, I just go and like sit down and put my feet up and usually grab a cold drink or sometimes a warm drink, and give my throat a break from all the talking. Oh my goodness. Oh, Diana says she loves the delicate Dahlia stamp set so much, but couldn't afford to spend so much money to get it. I totally understand. There are some similar stamp sets in the catalog that are distinctive. In fact, let me see. I feel like there might be like an index or a list of them. I'm not even sure how distinctive. See, that's the logo that you want to look for, distinctive. Let's just take, oh, here's one right here, right? Isn't this a distinctive stamp set? The, maybe not. I don't see the logo, but it has sort of a similar, like really beautiful quality to it, the way they, yeah, distinctive. This one is too. But the flowers, I feel like there's another distinctive flower. This is so pretty with the peach. Here's another one. It's the technique they use to create the stamps based on like a photo. I actually don't know how they do the process, but it does look so photorealistic and amazing. I feel like there's another flower that's kind of similar that has the same look to it. Here's another distinctive one. Isn't that cool? The tulips are labeled as a distinctive set. They just have such amazing details. The strawberries are a distinctive set. I thought we had a similar flower, but it may be that it's retired, the one that I'm thinking of. But we do have other amazing stuff in the mini catalog. So if you can't afford to get the Delicate Dahlias as your free celebration gift, there are lots of other things that you can choose from and create a similar card in a similar look. Because really, I know you guys have flowers at home, okay? I know. I know you have flowers at home. I have a bazillion flowers, it seems like. So you could create the same design and use an embossing folder, and even any embossing folder. It doesn't even have to be this one. So that's sort of just a general statement about my videos. I'm usually showing the latest and greatest things that Stampin' Up! Has to offer, but most of the things I'm creating, you can make at home using the supplies you already have. So I hope that you feel inspired to do that, to use the techniques that I'm showing you, the layouts that I'm showing you, and use what you've got to create something similar. I'm using a 1 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock to go across. This was something I added after Stamp Club. I thought I just really liked having like an anchor piece there. So I'm going to put this all the way at the top, so we've got the border around the edges, which is a little bit different, but I kind of like it. And then I'm going to just trim that. I've put the ribbon on with tear and tape, which is my trick to get the ribbon to kind of stay put where I want it to go. And then this ribbon is really thick, so I'm going to try to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. You know what I should do is I should use the mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So let me get those. I have this basket and I keep trying to pull one, and they're always the regular ones. And so I just like, whenever I'm looking for the regular ones, I only pull the mini ones. And when I want the mini ones, I only pull the regular ones. I save all my little lines like that. Don't you guys too? And then I tear them apart and use them on different cards. But I have a whole basket of like Stampin' Dimensional scraps. Okay, mini dimensionals. Did you know they came in this size? So the big ones, now that I've put them all away, I try to pull a big one and all I see are little ones now. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's a big one and here's a little one. Let me put them next to each other so you can see the size difference. Okay, so there's the big one, and then there's the baby Stampin' Dimensionals. So it is a significant size difference. So when you have something like this where you just have a small space to put them, the mini dimensionals really are handy. So I'm going to use 4 of them, and I can go around the ribbon so that it doesn't overlap. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, if you don't have mini dimensionals at home, you could cut your regular dimensionals in half or cut apart those side pieces and use that for something like this. Okay, so this tag is going right here in the center. And that is it. That's our finished card. It's so quick and easy. So if you have a bunch of cards to make up, whether it's sympathy or something else, you can create a simple card like this and duplicate it very easily. Okay, now it's time for you to vote. Here is the Old Olive and here's the Pear Pizzazz. It's kind of hard to tell because they're a very similar color, but the Old Olive is darker. So leave a comment now and let me know, do you prefer the Old Olive or do you prefer the Pear Pizzazz? Now this card, again, the card base is Cajun Craze and then Very Vanilla. And so it's just the two different greens, either Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz. So leave a comment, let me know 1 or 2 or Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz. While you guys are voting, let's take a look at some more cards using the Delicate Dahlias stamp set. Again, this is one from the Celebration brochure, so you can get this free with a $100 order during Celebration. You can choose this one, and it is a very big stamp set, which is why it's the level 2, the $100 one. So let me show you some cards that I've received from other demonstrators. They have inspired me so much. So this one is by Jan McClurg, and she's done like a triple time stamping where she's stamped, and then, well, actually, this is probably cutting the white layers and putting them all on each other, then stamping, and then taking the white layers off. So you want to use like a removable adhesive, and then layering them on black, and then putting them back on. So it looks like they've been stamped all together, and they just continue on and line up perfectly. So we'll have to do that maybe sometime if you haven't seen that. Are you guys familiar with the triple time stamping technique? The next card is from Dawn Olszewski, I think. Yep, her stickers all folded up, but I recognize it. I know Dawn's cards. Our styles are so similar. So here she's used that distinctive stamp and then stamped it again. And you can see the detail is kind of lost here. So it's probably that Dawn's ink pad was very juicy. Oh, that's a good point. Barbara says she can't read the saying on the Old Olive cardstock. Sometimes with darker cardstock, it's hard to, you know, to read it, honestly. Like, I feel that too. My eyes getting older and, you know, I'm not straining that much yet to see things, but I do find that things are obviously easier to read on lighter cardstock. All right, here's another one. This is from Susan Elise Morton, and she's used the distinctive stamp in the middle and then the outlines on the top and bottom. I love this really simple monochromatic. This is another one that'd be really easy to duplicate. This one is really cool. This is by Betsy Kreider, and she used bleach to stamp on the Cherry Cobbler cardstock. I love that look, and I did think about getting the bleach out, and then I thought, nah. I can be a messy. When I get messy, like with techniques like this, sometimes I can make a mess, and I thought I for sure would spill bleach on myself. So definitely be careful when you do something like this. If you are going to stamp in bleach, then I would highly recommend creating like an ink pad with a paper towel. You can fold it up, put a little bit of bleach on it, and use that as an ink pad, and then immediately clean your stamp when you're done. Make sure this is a photopolymer stamp set, so I would rinse it under water and make sure you rinse all that bleach off so that it doesn't affect your stamp at all. Next card is from my mom, Susan LaCroix. She's used a little bit of that bedazzling paper and then stamped with, I think this is Polished Pink and Just Jade. Such a beautiful combination. This one is by Ruth Moore, and I love the embossing folder that she paired with it. This is one of the floral embossing folders from the new annual catalog. And then we've got Pale Papaya and Soft Succulent are the inks there. This next card is from Denise Jorgensen. She also used a little bit of the bedazzling paper, and then she's got some layered tags. Another great embossing folder is the Tasteful Textile embossing folder that she's used there. Fresh freesia and some gold ribbon to complete this card. Here's a pretty one from Ruth Bingle. Let me open this up because I feel like it's going to have a fun fold. Oh yeah, it's got like a double fold. So it opens on the right and then it opens on the left. Ruth has used some of the beautifully penned designer paper, which is another celebration gift. This black and white paper is so easy to pair with a pop of color like polished pink. The embossing folder that Ruth has used is the painted texture embossing folder. So you can see, like, there's just so many ways to add texture to your cards with embossing folders, and you can choose, again, whatever you have at home. It doesn't have to, you don't have to always get, you know, something to do exactly the same. You could do this technique and pair it with that embossing folder, or that one, or that one. You can do some awesome things. Here's another embossing folder. I haven't used this one yet. This is by Amy's Story, and I'm not sure how well you can see. Let me take it out of the plastic. This is, there's two embossing folders. One, it says thank you, and then I think the other one is hello. There actually might be a birthday one as well. Oops, her gem is trying to get off the tag there. Isn't this gorgeous? This is the Poppy Parade and then the beautifully penned designer paper. So here Amy has stamped that distinctive image and then stamped the outline over it. And I just love the way that turned out. Such a beautiful card. And you could really use any color in there for your pop of color. I like the Poppy Parade on that one. Last card, this one is by Leanne Greff, and she used the Picture This die set that has 3 stitched rectangle windows. So one die creates all 3 windows, and I just love how that adds kind of a fun, easy layering to the card. So many amazing ways to use this stamp set. I hope that my card idea inspired you. Oh, I had one. Let me show you. Oh, here it is. This is the one that inspired my card. This one is by Cindy Bowman, and she used Magenta Madness, I think, with mint macaron. And so she did the same technique with the embossing folder and same kind of design with the 3 down the side. So I just made mine a little bit bigger and kind of changed the layout and the colors a little bit. Okay, I see some of your comments coming through, but I know there's more, and for some reason I'm just not seeing them all tonight. So I see Kimberly says Pear, Susan says Pear, Janice says number 2, Margie says Pear. I'm not sure that I saw any comments, at least that I could see on my end, for the old olive, which is so funny because, do you remember before we started stamping, I had you guys vote between olive and pear, and so many of you were saying olive, and now that the card is done, so many of you are saying Pear Pizzazz. It's so funny how just changing one color can make a difference in your card. All right, let's move on and create another card. I'm going to, let's see, we're going to do this one next. So I'm using the Frosted Gingerbread to recreate a fun fold card shared by Carrie Koss in the Great Big Card Swap. So I shared this on Tuesday night with the other 125 fall cards for the Great Big Card Swap, and I loved this one so much. It's got a fun fold like this. So it's got a card base and then like a gate fold in the middle. And Carrie shared the measurements inside, so I used those to recreate my own version with Stamp Club this morning. So this is what I will be sharing. By the way, I keep saying Stamp Club. That is a local group of stampers that get together. If you are waiting for Stamp of the Month Club projects, they're coming. I haven't had a chance to sit down and design as I had planned to this week. There has just been some other things going on, and it has delayed me from designing. So stay tuned, because there is going to be a new card kit of the month, and I will be sharing details about it as soon as I get it done. Hopefully I can get some designs finalized tomorrow. So the craziness that's been going on is my kids go to the local high school. I've got 2 in high school and 2 in middle school, and there was a shooting incident, like gun, and it was outside of the high school during the lunch hour, and my daughter was outside during that time in the vicinity. Thankfully, no one was injured. They're still investigating and looking for the person that did it, but needless to say, it was pretty terrifying. Not only for my daughter, but all of us, in just dealing with this near miss that is just totally freaking me out. So I've been a little distracted the last few days, and hopefully things will get back to normal, and we're doing good. Just a little little crazy. So hug all your kids, hug your family. Life is just too short. It's just too short. We have to make the most of the time we have and make sure that everybody you love knows exactly how much you love them. Let's make a card. Okay, so this one has 2 card base pieces. There is a long one that is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and you're going to score at 2 inches, 3 3/4 inches, 7 1/4 inch, and 9 inches. And these are the measurements that Carrie gave me, and they worked beautifully. The second piece, I'm using the same color like Carrie did, is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. So this piece is going to go on top of this one and layer on. This is so weird how I'm not seeing all of your comments. So I apologize if you're asking a question that I don't see, but I will make sure that I'll check out all your comments, and if I've missed them, I will I'll comment back either tonight or tomorrow when I have a chance to sit down and look at the video. Okay, so this piece we're going to fold on these score lines. So we're going to start with one side. We're going to fold in and then fold this part out. Okay, so we're creating like this Z, and this one's going to come in at the same time, but I want to actually fold this one back first because I'm going to use my bone folder. I want to make sure that these pieces meet in the middle, and so I'm going to like push them together and then make sure they're meeting and then kind of burnish the cardstock. This feels kind of tricky, but when I made it earlier, my pieces did not meet in the middle and there's a gap. So make sure when you're folding them that they meet, and then you can kind of burnish as you fold so that they do meet up. Okay, now I know again this is kind of like, it's weird to conceptualize, so I'm gonna go too slow probably, okay? But this piece that we just folded goes onto the card base like this. So it's going to get centered there, and this is going to glue into the center of this, okay? I know I feel like I'm going really slow, but when I look at the card the first time, I was like trying to figure out how that worked, okay? So this is a separate piece, and it's going to go onto the base. They're the same colors, so it's easy to feel like what is going on, right? Okay, so I'm just doing my best to center this. It's also weird because this piece hangs over farther than what is actually sticking to the card. So you could also do it that way and glue it down good. Okay, so you understood how that happened. There was a longer piece and it glued to the card base. And so now we've got this, card base that is like extra long. Okay, now we've got some pieces to go. Let's start with the designer paper. Okay, so we've got 2 sets of designer paper, and for each one you're going to have 2 pieces. Okay, they're both 4 inches long, and then widthwise you've got 2 that are 1 3/4 inch and 2 that are 3/4 inches. Okay, the 3/4 inch ones are going to go on the sides here. And again, I will have all of the measurements in the video description when I say when we're done, but sometimes it takes me a little while to get online and do that. So just be patient. If you don't see it right away, then just check back. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then the measurements should already be in the video description. I think there's like a little arrow at the top of the video where you can like look at more, and it opens it up. And I have all the like the shopping links and the shopping list and like everything, you know, all the information about the cards. If I ever like reference another tutorial, I'll add the link there. So I try to put all the information that you need in those video descriptions. Okay, these are going on next. By the way, this is the Peppermint and Gingerbread designer paper. This is a suite from the July through December mini catalog. And I love the traditional red and green colors. We've got Old Olive and Real Red, and then there's also some cinnamon cider with the gingerbread cookies. That is just really kind of a fun paper. I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, so our card is coming together. I love how you can show off some coordinating designer papers. Again, I'm going to have those measurements for you in the video description. Now for the inside piece is going to go right here in the middle, and this is 3 1/4 inch by 4 inches. And so let's do some quick stamping. I am going to use some stamp images from the Frosted Gingerbread stamp set. I'm using the Peppermint, and then I love the sentiment, sending you peppermint kisses. So I'm going to use Real Red and Old Olive ink. Let's get those out. Old Olive, and here's the Real Red. So Real Red is going to be the peppermints, although I have seen peppermints in other colors, right? We've seen green peppermints, but my peppermints are going to be red. And then I'm going to do the words in Old Olive so that we can get both colors in there. Sending you peppermint kisses. Oh, it's really very light, isn't it? Let's try that again. I love our basic white cardstock because it has 2 sides and it doesn't show through. So if you mess up, you can turn it over and stamp again. It wasn't a real mess up per se, but sometimes I like to restamp if I'm crooked or if I don't get a good inking the first time. All right, this is going to go on the inside of our card. I love how festive this is with the colors and the patterns. It makes me so happy. Oh my gosh, are you guys ready for Christmas? I should start listening to Christmas carols while I'm crafting because it just makes me so happy to think about Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Okay. Next pieces are going to be for the front, and I've got 2 squares here. The smaller one is 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4, and the larger one is 3 inches by 3 inches. I had some leftover pieces from the last time I used this stamp set. I stamped the ornament in Old Olive and the snowflake in Real Red, and then I die cut them with the coordinating dies. These are called the gingerbread dies, and of course you can get them bundled together. And when you bundle together and you get the stamp set and the dies at the same time, you save 10%. So always get the bundle. Whenever people don't get the bundle, then they think, oh no, now I got to get the other one. I didn't think I needed it. It's always best to get your coordinating things together. So I'm just going to layer those together, and then I'm going to add these with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then we'll add our greeting. This card came together so fast. Of course, it always does when everything is pre-scored for you. I understand. So if you like things that are pre-scored, make sure to stay tuned, because when I do announce that Stamp of the Month Club card kit, you're definitely going to want to get one so that you can have some pre-cut cardstock and create projects along with me. I'm thinking of using the new wreath bundle from the mini catalog, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and make projects yet, so we'll see. But I'm feeling really inspired by that set, especially because it covers so many holidays. Speaking of holidays, our sentiment is Happy Holidays, and that's going to go on the front. You could use some Stampin' Dimensionals if you want to. I think I'm just going to put it across the ornament there, and so I'm just going to use some regular adhesive. The ornaments are already on dimensional, so I don't feel like I necessarily need more. And then this is going to go on the front of the card. Now you only want it to go on one side, because if you glue it down, then it's not going to be able to open. So using just adhesive right here, you can either use your regular Stampin' Seal, your Stampin' Seal Plus, or you could use some Tear and Tape if you want to make sure that is good. So I'm going to close this up, center it, and then make sure that it's getting glued down right on the side. Oops, there. I kind of feel like this needs a little bling. I didn't get that out for Stamp Club. I guess I just wasn't thinking about it this morning. But let's see about, well, what I'd really like is some red rhinestones. Red rhinestones are such an easy way to add some bling. I feel like we at least need one right here in the center. Oh yes, but maybe also we should just totally bling out our snowflake. I'm trying to decide. Yeah, I think like that. What do you think? Yes, bling is always good, right? Now, if you struggle with little rhinestones like this, you can either use, I got 2 hints for you. You can either use something like the take your pick tool. You can pick it up with the putty, although I find sometimes it doesn't always pick up well. You could also use the other side of this is the little spatula. So you can kind of work underneath it and lift it up. Or if you don't have this, sometimes I just use my scissors. So you can just sort of squeeze around the bottom and pick it up and transfer it. And then, let's see, where does this need to go? Right here. And then push it down. I think this needs to move. Yeah, right there. Okay. So pretty. I like that bling. Okay, there's our finished card. Isn't this one fun? I really like this fun fold, and I definitely think I'm going to try it again. Here is the inspiration from Carrie Koss using the Pretty Pumpkins and the Beauty of the Earth designer paper. So you can see this card is going to be awesome for any holiday. A really great way to show off designer paper that coordinates. Carrie, thank you so much for sending this in and inspiring this card. Like I said, now I feel like I just want to make a whole bunch with this fun layout. So watch the video description. I'll include the measurements for this card in the video description so you can try it at home and remake it too. Okay, for our last card, I don't have anything pre-cut yet. However, I was inspired by this that I had laying on the floor. Don't ask me why it was on the floor. And I thought, oh gosh, I love this fun fold card. And so I thought I would make one using the Nature's Harvest stamp set. And there's dies that go with it, which I think are on back order right now, but I just love this stamp set and the designer paper. So I've got myself some measurement Post-it notes ready to go, and I thought we could just cut this and make this really quick. So let's pull out some designer paper. This is the Harvest Meadow designer paper. You know what, guys? I got distracted. Before I show you this designer paper, I need to show you the other designer paper that we just used. This is the Gingerbread and Peppermint 6x6 designer paper. So this is in the mini catalog, and you can see, let me open that down a little more. You can see all these beautiful red and green and white patterns, and there's that cinnamon cider for the gingerbread. So we've got some really fantastic Christmas-y designs that you can use. And then some of these have sheets like this one where you can use the coordinating dies and die cut those images. So instead of using the stamp set, you could cut them out from the designer paper and create them. So if you have a bunch of Christmas stamp sets and don't want another stamp set, you could just get the designer paper and make a similar card or a bunch of cards. Let me show you a few other cards using the Gingerbread and Peppermint. Oops, I double of that one. Okay, so the other thing in this suite is these great acrylic shapes that I've used to decorate this card. And then here's another one where I used the dots. And then I shared this in a Sunday stamping video. You may have seen it using the decorative masks. This one with the shimmer embossing paste and this one with the blending brush. Both of these have images that are die cut from the designer paper. Okay, there were the Gingerbread and Peppermint cards. I forgot to share that with you. Let's get back to the Nature's Harvest designer paper, because this is just so gorgeous. I think I've got some scraps here where I can show you. I should have pulled them out ahead of time, but like I said, this was sort of a last minute decision. Now I did this as last month's Stamp of the Month card kit. In fact, let me pull those cards really quick. I am going to make up a few more kits. So if you did not get a kit before and you would like one, then let me know. Here are some of the cards from that kit. And then there's one more that I think is in the kitchen. So if you would like to get one of those card kits, then I'll leave the comment in the, I'll leave the link in the in the video description. It's tinyurl.com/AUG for August 2021. SOTM for Stamp of the Month. So that Google form says it's sold out and there's a waiting list. So if you're interested in the kit, just fill out the form and you'll be on the waiting list, and then I'll contact you when I've got the kits together. Okay, the Harvest Meadow paper is so gorgeous. It has Misty Moonlight, Calypso Coral, Sahara Sand, Bumblebee, Soft Succulent. I just love these colors. So we're going to pick some patterns for our project. I'm kind of vibing on these two patterns. This is the project we're going to make, this double Z fold card. So I don't know, what do you think of those patterns? This for the background and then the yellow, or we could reverse it and go the other way around. The other combination that I really love, oh, that's pretty. It might be too busy. The other combination I really love is this one. Oh my gosh, I love this pattern. Well, what would you pair that with? The blue? This paper is just so pretty. I think we're going to go with these combinations. I'm feeling those colors. This is so weird not being able to see your comments. So I'm going to... yeah, let's use these papers. And so this is Calypso Coral and Bumblebee. And is there like a little bit of Misty Moonlight in the very middle of that? What color cardstock do we want? Maybe some Calypso Coral, which is the pink. Or do we want a contrasting Misty Moonlight? I kind of like the Misty Moonlight. I can see your comments like when I scroll over and scroll back, but I'd have to just keep doing that. More of a larger pattern for the top piece. I think I'm digging the blue and just trying to decide which pattern to put inside and which pattern to put on top. I feel like the yellow is the dominant pattern, so I'm thinking that's going to be on top. Let's cut the cardstock. I'm using my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. And the first two pieces are going to be 5.5 by 8.5 and 2.5 by 8.5. And so this is the 8.5, and both are scored at 4 1/4 and 6 3/8. So I'm actually going to do the scoring right now on the whole sheet of cardstock. So I'm scoring at 4 1/4, which is scoring the cardstock in half, and then 6 3/8 inch. So let's open this up and, okay, 4 1/4. That's 5/8. My ruler like cuts off right at the 3, like the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, so 2 1/8 is the difference, right? So, and because I can't read the numbers over here, I'm looking down here and putting my score line at 2 1/8 inch. So this is where I guess that my measurement is. Okay, so I'm scoring at 6 3/8, and then I'm going to cut. So let me bring that down again. So I've got two pieces. One is 5.5. That's like the main card base. And then the second piece is 2.5 inches. And now I'm committed to making another card. Okay, so this is the smaller piece. This is the bigger piece. And that's what this was. I'll have the measurements in the video description. Okay, then our designer paper pieces. One is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So that is this one, 3 3/4 inches by 5. And the second one is going to be 1 3/4 inch by 5 inches. So let's go 1 3/4 by 5. Okay, those were the 2 designer paper pieces. And then our last little bit is the white cardstock. So let's get some white cardstock out. And for this one, we need a piece that's 2 inches. And one of them is going to be 3 3/4, and one is going to be 1 1/2. Okay. This is like, the comments tonight are so delayed or missing. I don't know. Like, the comments I'm seeing come through right now all say Misty Moonlight. Like, that was a while ago. So, I don't know. Sometimes Facebook is so weird. Okay. That's all right. We're going to carry on and make an awesome card. We're using Nature's Harvest. We've got our pieces that are cut. And I love this. Love this big one. Is thank you gonna fit on that? Okay, we're gonna have to do a little secret with the thank you. Oh my gosh, my stamps are missing. They're in the kitchen. Let me grab them. Hold on. Okay, they were there from Stamp Club, so I love this one. A reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. That is definitely the one we're going to use. And I am thinking I'm going to switch over to these smaller flowers. I love the big ones, but I think they might be too big for our piece. So we're going to do like this tonight. I don't know. You know what? Let's do it. Especially if we do the yellow. You know, if it doesn't work, we can always redo it, right? Nothing is permanent. You know I can take things off like a boss. I'm looking for my other big block to put the flowers on, but I'm not seeing what I did with it. So let's clean off our dahlia, and we'll use that block. I have 2 of these larger blocks and a whole bucket of smaller blocks. I keep my blocks in a bucket like this, and so I like to have all my blocks out at the same time. I like to have my stamps out at the same time and not have to clean up before I move on. I should be able to just clean up and move on and use the same block. You don't need to have 100 blocks, although having different sizes certainly is handy. And did you know there is a bundle of blocks? So you can get, I think it's 1 of each size, and then you get a 10% discount on it when you get the whole bundle. So if you're looking for stamping blocks, I would highly recommend that bundle, especially during celebration when you get the extra freebie. Now I have gotten ink on myself, so I'm going to grab my sanitizer. I keep some on my table so I can get ink off my fingers. And we're going to do Bumblebee ink, and then I think some Misty Moonlight, and bring that color in. So these are both in colors I call them junior and senior in colors. These are senior in colors, which means that they will be graduating. They'll be retiring in the springtime. So if you like these colors, Misty Moonlight, Bumblebee, Just Jade, Cinnamon Cider, and Magenta Madness. Make sure you get your ink refills, stock up on your cardstock, do all that right now so that you have plenty to get you through after the color retires. If you're not familiar, our in colors, they come and go every 2 years. I'm looking for my mat again, my grid paper. They come and go every 2 years. So the in colors come in and they stay for 2 years, and then we have 2 sets at a time. So they kind of filter in and out. So we've got like one set comes in while one leaves, and then the next year another one comes in and another one leaves. So they sort of are each on 2-year cycles, but they don't all go away at the same time, if that makes any sense. Okay, a reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. Oh, I love that. Okay, that's going to go there. And then on the small piece, we're going to do thank you for the inside, but our thank you is not going to fit on this little bitty white piece. So we need to ink up just part of it and then clean it and do the same thing. So I think the easiest way to do this is with a marker. So let's get out our markers. Now, Stampin' Up! Markers come in groups by color families. So these are the in color family of markers. We've got the 2021 to 2023. So these are the junior in colors. That's my name for them. And then the senior in colors are the 2020 to 2022. So this is where my Misty Moonlight marker is. And I'm going to use the brush tip of the marker to color on the stamp directly. And so I can color just the part I want. This is called omitting. This is a great technique, whether you want to add multiple colors to your stamp or you just want to do what I'm doing and not stamp the entire thing. So I'm stamping the thank. Let's center that. And then I'm going to clean my stamp with the chamois. And you want to make sure it's really good and clean, because if it's not and you stamp, you could get like a shadow. So give it a good clean, and then I like to just sort of, on scrap paper, just make sure that there's no extra ink. Now I'm going to ink up the second part, which is the U. And stamp that a little harder to see. Stamp that right underneath. Thank you. So I've taken the stamp that was long and I made it short so that it would fit on my card. All right, let's put this card together. We have our card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. So this is like a regular card folded in half, and then this is folded back. So this is the base of this is like a standard Z fold card. And then the designer paper is going to go inside here. I actually wish I made this just a little bit longer. If I was doing this again, I think I would do like 4 inches by 5 1/4 instead of 3 3/4 by 5. I'll include both measurements in the video description just in case you like the bigger border. Then I would also make this one 5 1/4 inches as well instead of the 5 inches. But right now the designer papers line up and there's an even amount of space all the way around. So it looks normal. It doesn't look bad the way it is, but I think I just would prefer a bigger designer paper layer. Okay, this piece is 2.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So it's sort of like a little mini card, right? It's folded in half at 4 1/4, and then the same thing you're going to fold back. So this is like a little mini Z, except it's going to go the opposite direction. Okay, so just a Z in the other way. So we're gonna add this right here. And you know what? We have an opportunity for another piece of designer paper. You guys, look, there's so much room that we are leaving here. I'm going to have to make this card again. We're going to rewind and stamp this again and make these pieces a little bit bigger, because we totally could have gone all the way across if this piece was bigger. I'm not sure what measurements I was looking at that made it so small. Look at all that extra room. Okay, some missed opportunity. Let's go back and fix it. Before we do that, I'm putting adhesive on the back here and right here, because this is how it's going to go on the card across, and this is going to stick to the front and that's going to stick to the back. Okay, so we've got the basic idea for our card, but let's go ahead and remake it, because these measurements are driving me crazy. Okay. This time, I'm not going to go slow and share the measurements, okay? I will have them in the video description. For the cardstock pieces, I'm using exactly the same measurements. So the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 2 1/8, and 4 1/4. Or if you go the other way, 4 1/4 and 6 3/8 inch. Same thing, in half, and then in half of the half. All right, now for the designer paper. These are the measurements that we're going to adjust. We're using this piece again, and we're using this piece. Oh, that's small. Here is a bigger piece. Okay, so let's do a full 4" by 5 1/4 for that one. Then for this one, we are going to do 1 3/4 inches, like 1 7/8 inch. Right, by 5 1/4. Okay, and let's add a piece, because we had a missed opportunity for another piece of designer paper, and that was sad. How about a little blue? Yes, let's add some blue. So we're going to do a little blue piece, and this is going to go right in here. This is 2 1/8, so I'm going to go 1 7/8 inch by 2.5, 2 1/4. 1 7/8 inch by 2 1/4. The white is going to be the same. So this is, what did we say this was? 2.5, that's 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 by 4, and 2 1/4 by 1 7/8 inch. Did you catch all that? Did you keep up with me? I'm sorry that was so fast. Like I said, I will include all the measurements in the video description when we're done. I'm going to move this so we can focus on stamping and then putting our card together. Last time we used the marker to omit. I'm going to just stamp that thank you. Look, now it fits, and I like it better that way anyway. And then I feel like we are doing some speed stamping now. We're going to stamp those flowers again. And Bumblebee down here in the corner. We're using the larger sentiment, a reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. Beautiful. I feel like if you wanted to, you could stamp that flower and color it, but I'm digging just the way it is. Let's do some layering super fast. This is going to go on the front. This is going to go on the inside. This is going to go in the middle. On our card base, this is going to get folded and folded back for a simple Z fold. Want to make sure we get that going up the right way. This is going to go on the inside. And this is going to go on the outside panel. This is so much better. I'm digging the proportions on this a lot. Okay, that is a little mini Z fold as well. I can glue on my finger. And then we're going to glue it down. What does it need? Before we glue it down, does it need something? I kind of like the simplicity, but if you wanted to, you could add some die. I'm going to keep it simple tonight. If you wanted to, you could add some die cuts. I might add a little bit of linen thread. That's always like my favorite thing to add, or some of the brushed metallic. Let's go high with this. It wasn't down all the way yet. Right up here. Yeah, I like that. A reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. Let's do a wee bit. Look at this. I'm like literally the end of my roll. Let's do a little bow with the linen thread. Don't worry, I have a new package. I always get linen thread in like sets of 3 because I use it so much. A little linen thread bow. Yeah, I love it. Maybe some gems too. Let's see what we think of that. So these are going to go on. That's going to go on with a glue dot, which is over here. I'm seeing a few comments about sharing. Thank you guys so much for sharing the video. It always makes me so happy when new people can find us and have fun with us every Thursday and join us for stamp therapy. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So thank you so much for sharing. I love to share, and I love that you also love to share. Okay. Yes, literally the end of my rope. Oh, Lynn, you're so funny. Let's check out these brushed metallics. So the thing I love about these brushed metallic gems, we've got 3 different colors. There's like a gold, and then like a copper color, and then, I don't know, like brass, I guess that would be. But I love that this, that the coppery color, it sort of ties in with the, oh my God, I know you guys like 3s, but sometimes 2 is just enough, don't you think? No, Julie, it needs a 3rd one. Who said that? The bow is bothering me. I don't know about that bow. Okay. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I'm not out seeing all of your comments, though. Do you like the twine, or should we leave it off? Do you like the bling? You know what? Oh my gosh, I know what to do. We need to add more color to this. Hold on, I'm tearing it off. You're gonna love this so much though. I'm being really careful to pull very gently and release my layers. I'm gonna move these for just a second. You guys leave me comments though and let me know what you think about the bling. But maybe we're not going to need it after I add one more stamped image, because I feel like this is really flat and the bling is not flat. Like the bling is so big. Where's my silicone mat? Here it is. Okay. I've already got sticky on this and I want to stamp. So I'm going to put that on the silicone mat so I can peel it right back up. Okay. We're going to use Calypso Coral and add a flower from the Nature's Harvest. I was thinking about using this one, and I don't know why I didn't think about using them together. Duh! Oh gosh, I'm not seeing any comments about the linen thread. It's so weird, Facebook. And I was thinking of just like layering these like that. What do you think? Like we get our pop of color in there with the pink. I was going to put it over here, but I didn't want to cover this one up. I like it like that though. And then, I don't know. I think the linen thread, leave it off. Mary says, one of the die cuts on Bumblebee. Where would you put the die cuts? Well, would you put it on here? Would you put it back there? I don't know. This might finish it off. I kind of like that addition of the pink, and it ties in both colors of the designer paper. Okay. I think if I change one thing, which is not easy to change, so I'm not pulling this card apart. If I changed one thing, I think I would make this layer not so wide, right? Like this is 2.5 inches. Like I think I would go a little bit shorter and make it like 2.25 or 2, you know what I mean, no. I'm not going to tear it apart again. You could also add some die cuts to it, which I think would be really pretty. Oh, maybe we'll try to... This card is it's turning into more than I intended for it to be. I don't know. We'll leave. I'm going to leave it. we could be here all night, and looks good without the bow now that you have bling. Okay. I'm only seeing like some of the comments. Yes to twine, yes to bling. You guys are... Oh, the Bumblebee trinkets. Yes. Okay. Where are the Bumblebee trinkets? I think that's perfect. Don't you think? I have like a little goober there, which probably would be fixed with the adhesive eraser. But I could also just cover it up. Heck yeah. Okay, let's do that. We're going to cover it up. And this does not have adhesive on it, the Bumblebee trinkets, so we're going to use a glue dot to put that down. It is flat on one side, so that's good. And there. It needs something. Still needs something, right? Where did the twine bow go? Well, you know what? I'm always, after I get done with the video, like come back and tweak the cards and change something. So I might have to do that. Well, I'll get a chance to look at all your comments because you guys are probably all like screaming at me, do this, do that. And then sometimes I just don't see things until it's too late. Oh, okay. Let's recap. We made 3 cards tonight. We did the double Z fold with Nature's Harvest. We used the delicate dahlias to make this beautiful sympathy card. And then we also made a fun fold card with the gingerbread and peppermint. Leave a comment and let me know which of these is your favorite. Which of these cards also do you think that you want to duplicate? Are you inspired by the fun folds, or do you kind of like the technique and the fun design of this one? Leave a comment and let me know. I always love hearing from you, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you want to get any of the things that I showed you today, you can find them in the online store for Stampin' Up! At juliedavison.com/shop. When you order $40 or more from me, you're going to get a special gift from me. I always send them at the end of the month, so I'm working on August kits right now. They're going in the mail tomorrow, and you'll get one for September. It'll be totally different. If you order $50 or more, you can choose a free gift from Stampin' Up! During celebration. This is a great time to stock up on cardstock, adhesive, make that big purchase that you've been thinking about, and get the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or the big set of markers. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and let me know. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon for another stamping video. Bye-bye.